Anyway, guess I was lying. Still in the mood for ranting. So, what do I want to talk about? Alright. Firstly, The Division 2 is a shit game. It's better than Division 1, but it's a waste of time. And you will feel like after eating McDonald's. Like, it's good while you do it. After it, you will feel a bit dirty, used, maybe raped. That's the same with a lot of video games and movies out there. A really good game is Apex Battle Royale. It's a lot of fun. Then good series, Stisse on Netflix, about an Orthodox Jewish family. Good stuff. When Heroes Can Fly, also from Israel. Amazing. Fauda, also from Israel. Very, very good. Love, Death, Robots. Fun to watch. The stories are usually not very deep, like nothing that blew my mind, but visually and special effects and so on, and the different styles and short stories from 5 to 15 minutes, like very, very entertaining show, produced by David Fincher, Fight Club guy and so on, and House of Cards. What else? Books. Didn't read a good book in a long time. Most of them I stopped somewhere in the middle or after the first quarter. So now I'm going back to old school philosophers, Wittgenstein, stuff like that. See if I can pull out something else besides the stuff I pulled out when I was a student. You always need to challenge yourself to read something that you don't already know or understand, because that's just mentally jerking off, right? You're just congratulating yourself while you're reading a book on how awesome you are, but it's just super, super boring. Also, one of the reasons why I don't read novels usually, or science fiction or stuff like that. Most of the time I already know what's gonna happen, how the book is gonna end, and they are written so badly. Like there's nothing worse than boredom while reading, and there's no level in between. Like, the meta level when you're reading the book. Like there's the story. Like there are good novels, like they have a story and they have a message they try to convey on a meta level. You can interpret them, you can think about them, philosophize about them, and most books, they are just nothing. It's horrible. Not even a shitty political message, I don't know, like, or yeah, I mean, they could tell you, like, don't eat meat or whatever, some, like, wrapped into a nice story, something like that, but no, nothing. I don't know why, but they are on the bestseller lists everywhere, and it's quite shocking to see, to be honest, how low the standard level of entertainment and understanding is. Now you're watching this video, so I guess you must be interested in something else, because who would listen to someone like me ranting on the internet about stuff like that if you are not interested in something deeper, like meaning, or talking about meaning. I've been thinking a lot about the meaning of life in the last few months and haven't really reached a conclusion yet. I guess there is never really a conclusion. It must be changing throughout the years. Like my grandma, she was a believer until her late 90s, and then she just stopped because, well, what good did it bring her? Not much, to be honest. And yeah, maybe she even regretted it, that she spent so much time and effort on her religion. And I don't know, I don't think there's any reason why we exist. The reason why we are here is to live. The, the deeper sense, meaning of living is life. The deeper meaning of life is living, making the best out of your time here. There's only one shot you get, and this one shot you have to make it count. I mean, even if you believe in rebirth or some crazy stuff like that, still, why would you go through 90 years of suffering, and for what? I don't get it. I really don't get it. There are some people that make their own life hell, and why? It's like they are caught in this never-ending circle of unhappiness and duties they have to fulfill to other people. And you know, you have to know one thing: you cannot choose your family. So for me, friends have always been more precious than family. While I really love my family, I didn't pick them, and they didn't pick me. So if you really want to have meaningful relationships with people, most of the time they are friends and lovers. So meeting interesting people has always been one of my favorite things in life, even though I like to be alone a lot as well. And yeah, meaning of life is just that, living, you know. And if you think there's anything deeper, anything like we are living in a matrix or a simulation, and death is just a dream, like life is just a dream and death will wake you up, even then I would still do my best to have 90 awesome years, because either something will happen after these 90 years and you move on to the next level or whatever, and you will tell yourself, all right, that was awesome, let's do something else. Or it will be just like before your death, peace, total peace, because there is nothing before you came and there will be nothing after you left. So in this kind of sense, death doesn't really matter, because when you're gone, you're gone. Total silence, nirvana, peace. Yeah, it's quite a soothing thought, free of all worries, responsibilities, and so on. So if you are not believing in an afterlife, then also you only have this one shot to give it everything you can. Yeah, that's just what I'm thinking. And don't live your life for other people. How does your comfort zone feel when you are too comfortable? Like when you are living like a dream in a dream in a dream, and you can actually wake up from it and actually experience life as it is meant to be for yourself, because that's all you have in the end is your mind. That's through which you experience everything. You experience happiness, sadness, outside influences. Everything goes through your senses into your mind, and that's where you work with it. So all you really have is your mind. I would work a lot on controlling my mind, and working with my mind, respecting it, working on that it respects me, and so on. This is one of the most important things I have learned over the years. And that will give you a much deeper meaning in life, to life, than anything else could ever give you. Yeah. there's this philosopher called Wittgenstein, and he wrote his Tractatus, which is a logic way to describe the world, like on many pages with subpoints and overpoints like 1.1, 1.2 and so on, and he describes the world, and he wrote that book in the trenches of World War I. Super interesting. This guy, he was probably autistic or something like that, but very interesting. And yeah, while I don't agree with everything he says, I highly recommend reading that book. It's really, really interesting. Besides that, what else is going on? Oh yeah, I've been listening to a lot of deadmau5 and electronic dance music. Like, I'm always very much into heavy metal music, have always been my whole life, but EDM, if it's good, like Jan Blomqvist, for example, from Berlin, really good stuff, especially if you listen to it by yourself. I'm not into dancing. Like, screw that, I'm too old for that. Not even with a lot of alcohol. But listening to it while working, that's a lot of fun. Really good stuff, and gets your creative juices flowing. And I also wrote some music myself these days, just for relaxing, giving my brain something else to do than trading. Yeah, and I have rediscovered my love for nature, hiking. Hiking is just, oh man, it's the best. It's really the best. Hiking and swimming in the sea, wow. Absolutely mind-blowing what a day or two in nature can do for you, your psyche, your soul, your creativity, your productivity in the coming week. It is mind-blowing, and just 2 days can feel like a 2-week holiday somewhere else. Just go to the nature, bring your tent. That's what I love about Hong Kong so much. I can get into the car, drive for 30 minutes, and I'm in the middle of the jungle at a beautiful beach with a beautiful view, and no one is there. There are untouched beaches in Hong Kong, actually. And then I can just 2 days later take the car back into one of the greatest cities on earth and go back to my crazy yuppie lifestyle where I blow hundreds of dollars on stupid cocktails, and yeah, it's all about balance, I guess. Yeah. So today is Friday, and the last trade I put on was on Monday, I guess. Yeah, Monday. And it went very well, very quickly. And after that, I felt satisfied, absolutely satisfied for the week. So, and I was quite busy. I had to do with the travel to Hong Kong and so on, and check to open a company and so on. So since then, I didn't open another trade. There were 1 or 2 opportunities, but nothing that really got me excited. So let's see what next week is gonna bring. I have already beaten the performance of most hedge funds out there from 2018 in the first 2 months of this year, first 2.5 months roughly. So everything else is just a bonus. Yeah, really, really happy right now with where I am in life. And besides the point that I have trouble sleeping sometimes, which is why I do a lot of hiking and running and sports these days, because if I completely pour myself out, I can fall asleep quickly. If not, sometimes I might lie awake for 3, 4, 5 hours without being able to control my mind at all. And then I will watch some comedy special on Netflix, which, like, I don't know, Norm Macdonald, really funny stuff. Like he said, what if you just wrote a letter, a suicide letter, and then you killed yourself, and in that letter you blamed a random guy, like my barber is responsible for my death, and then that would be the funniest prank, probably. Or you would go to hell forever for this prank. It's quite funny. Norm Macdonald. I can recommend his stand-up on Netflix. The title is something with Hitler and dog. Good enough. Alright, anyway, enough ranting. Now I feel like I've said enough for today. And talked about enough random, useless stuff with a lot of entertainment value for me. I don't know how you feel about this, but hey, I'm not forcing you to watch this. Right. Anyway, now it's time for drinks. So, see you guys tomorrow.